Hey everybody, welcome to part 9 of the Sonic SuperStars Let's Play. So in this part, we're actually going to take on a new story. Yay! Do you remember when Amy was nice to Trip, and then Trip helped us out deal with Fang the Hunter? Well, now we have to play her story. I'm not 100% sure when exactly her story takes place. However, she works a lot like if you were playing Sonic 3 and Knuckles, where her mode is the quote-unquote hard mode, but they took that to the literal. However, she comes with her own set of moves. The Chaos Emeralds, if you already got all of them in the previous story, you'll already have them here. She has a double jump, but that double jump can also be converted into, as you saw earlier, a wall climb. All the stages are harder now, with more spikes and traps and all that junk. Her story is actually unreasonably annoying. However, I do like that in some ways her jump animation and spin dash, I swear it's like a loose nod to Vector the Crocodile in Knuckles Chaotix. So yeah, so we have her super form already unlocked. We have all the emeralds unlocked and all the emerald powers. I guess we should thank Sega or Sonic Team and whatnot for deciding to give us the emerald, letting us keep the emeralds for this story. Considering, yeah, her story is stupid hard. I had debated about keeping, when editing all of this, keeping the beginning of this part in, and then let's try that again. I debated about keeping the beginning of this part in, and then editing out everything except for key elements. But whatever, we get to all suffer through this bullcrap again. Now, unfortunately, because this is a hard mode, the Sonic Team decided it would be a brilliant idea. That was actually a nice jump, by the way, landing on all those enemies. Thought it would be a brilliant idea to make all the bosses take more hit points. So, Act 1 bosses will typically instead of 3 hits, will now take 6, for example. And the main bosses, 9. I have no idea, but I would love to know what they were thinking when they thought of this. After recording this, I was checking around online. Online, and people were saying that for some reason Sonic Team is right now, well, not these words exact, big on making all their making harder crap. Like, it's one thing to make things a challenge. It's another to make things borderline unenjoyable. But what are you gonna do? I don't like Sonic games, much like Mario, are meant to be hard. That's like, oh look, see, they are super form. We're a dragon. Anyway, that's like making a Kirby game stupid hard. But anyway, we're not here to complain about difficulty, though there's a probability that may happen periodically throughout Trip's story. Dope. So there is a... yeah, I did mention that. Never mind. You can deal with the... oh, see, there you go. You can deal with the bombs without having to crash into them. You can lock onto them, but if you press the button again, you'll detonate them. It's funny. I'm glad that this is something new for a special stage, but I also been finding it a little inconsistent when you're trying to lock onto stuff. But I guess I don't entirely care as long as you can get what it is you're going after. Dope. Not much I can say about a special stage. Beyond, hey, give me those the medals I don't want. Arrgh! Oh, come on. I should have been able to log on to that. Whatever. Ow. See, if I was smart at that moment, I should have just let myself fall. Whee! Dope. Dope. Whatever. One thing I did forget to mention. I'm pretty sure we saw it at the end of the last part. Is that after you beat the main story, you can unlock Trip for that stage, or to play in those stages if you want. So I did, in between recordings, I did decide to play Trip a bit in the original story, not going through the story. I just screwed around in Bridge Island and Speed Jungle, just to get a feel for how she plays, just cause. Thinking that would help me out, but no. Also, in her super form, when she's to do very specific things that would require a spin dash, she just turns into a ball of light. And much like Knuckles' story in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, we have to deal with an egg robo. Now, I would like to know, and I'm not 100% sure, because I would like to know if this part, wow, go me. I'd like to know if her story takes place during or after. Well, I'm going to lean probably to a little bit after. Sort of. I like how, like, effectively, like in Knuckles' story, the Egg Robo, much like in that, decides it would be a smart idea to, well, I don't know, try the exact same crap Eggman tried. Mind you, sometimes you have to try things a couple of times to get the result you were going for, instead of just trying it once. The Sun Gazer is now a bird. Or she maybe no, actually I know. She still thinks she's in her dragon form. Now, Trip becoming a dragon for her super form, I do admit, is interesting. But a little unusual, too, but whatever. Speed Jungle. Down there's a bottomless pit, by the way. They threw a lot more of those in the Trip story, too. Spikes, traps, pits, it's... I'm pretty sure, in a lot of ways, when you want to make something harder, adding a lot more pits and traps and cliffs is not the way to do that. That's just dick-headed level design. More enemies, sure, go nuts. Mind you, this discussion could be debatable depending on the game. So maybe it does work for a Sonic game, but maybe not. Like a Kirby game could probably do, for example, could do better off with increased difficulty by having more enemies, for example. Not that it does, it usually just reduces your health. Dope. Excellent. So do I like Trip? Yes. There isn't any Sonic characters that I dislike that I can think of off the top of my head. I'm one of the few out there that like Charmy and Marine. Mostly because if they were given a chance, I think they would be really good playable characters. Mind you, Charmy is in Knuckles Chaotix. He's broken. Like, very broken. Marine just never had the chance to be a playable. Which is unfortunate, but, man, what are you gonna do? Yeah, so Eggman gets defeated, runs off. Now the Egg Robo's like, hey, I'm gonna try all that same crap again. Or, I'm gonna try all that same crap that Eggman did earlier and see if it works by capturing all the same animals to put in all the same robots. Meh. I don't know what kind of voice I'd use for the Egg Robo. Yeah. It was here I discovered that these things are taking way more hits, and it's like, somebody shoot me. Especially when we get to my oh-so-favorite mid-boss. Eh. Damn mosquito robot. And there we go, that's Speed Jungle Act 1. Now here comes the next fun part. Alright, so here we go. So Trip not only has to go through all the main stages, but she has to go through all the character stages as well, sadly. Also, I'd like to point out that even Fang is kind of an idiot. He's trying all the exact same shit again too, at the moment. Yeah, screw it. The medal's right there. Let's take it. Dough. The egg robots are actually annoying in this, unlike in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So, to be fair, I'm impressed with that. But are they But like I said, they are annoying. Trying to do something like shoot you, and then they shoot you. So unless you're going for completion, I wouldn't really play Trip's story unless you're curious. Like, about what her story's like. If you want to just play as her, you just go into the regular story and just screw around after you unlock her. Like, this game, overall, is fine. Is there issues? Yeah, unfortunately, there's no surprises there. Is there too many issues? That depends. I think that greatly depends on the stage, actually. I'll see. Do I like this game? Yeah. Is it on my recommendation list? Only if you're gonna play the first story, and you don't care about this story. It's not even a game I'd recommend as your first Sonic game. If I was to recommend your first side-scrolling Sonic game, I would probably recommend, oddly enough, Sonic 2. But then again, I'm biased. That's my favorite 2D. That's my favorite classic Sonic game. Or even Sonic Generations to a degree, because then you have a mix of both 3D and 2D gameplay styles. Though, I'd rather recommend the games that give you multiple playable dudes. So, and for a 3D game, I'll recommend Sonic Adventure 2 or Sonic Adventure. For 2D games, I'd recommend any of the advanced games, Sonic 2 or even Sonic Mania. Oh, screw it, let's just throw it in. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And once you get all good at those games, then come back and play this. And there we go. And then, oh, good, he just flew off. Unlike in Sonic's story, in the first story, where he just kind of crashes in a trip and wipes out. I wish I could say something positive about Trip's story beyond you can play as Trip. The downside, actually, is apparently you cannot... So you know how there's co-op mode in this, or multiplayer, whatever you want to call it? Take that when it comes to Trip's story and throw it out the window. Because there isn't a multiplayer. Oh, they could have just made players 2, 3, and 4 play as some of the robots that you can make. Okay. They could have even, just made it, you play as Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, or Amy as well, just, they're just not in any cutscenes. But, okay, whatever. Yeah, so that's really the only positive... That's really the only positive thing when it comes to Trip's story, is you play as Trip. A new character, which we haven't gotten a chance to play as a new character in... I played every Sonic game, so, but there's also a chance I'm having a brain fart here. We haven't been able to play as a new Sonic character probably since, terrifyingly, I think I want to say Shade. So I know how many people dislike that game. Just because playing as Knight for versions of Shadow, playing as Knight for versions of Shadow, Knuckles, and Blaze does not count. Now, when it comes to... Yeah, oddly enough, I think the last time in a mainline Sonic game we got to play as multiple playable characters, actually, like, prior to Sonic Mania, was, because I'm not counting Lost World, no, because I'm not counting Sonic Boom, sorry, was actually, Sonic and the Black Knight. Which, to be fair, I like that game. I think a lot of people don't like, crap. I don't think a lot of people like Sonic and the Black Knight because, I don't know, because Sonic has a sword? Never been too sure. I know why people did not like Secret Rings. Nice job, past me. I know why I don't like Secret Rings. To me, Secret Rings is the worst Sonic game, not counting ports. Yes, I think Sonic and the Secret Rings is even worse than Sonic Boom. And the dumber part is, I haven't even beaten any of the Sonic Boom games. Yes, I said I've beaten pretty much every Sonic game. There are a few I haven't beaten, but we don't talk about Sonic Boom. And the dumber part is, I own them. But then again, that's the cost of being a Sonic fan, or a fan of anything. Like, I'm a diehard Zelda fan, and I have Zelda games that I don't like. But I have them because, well, I love that franchise. Whee! Woo! That'd be funny if that minigame thing just pulled me in, just like, nope, you're coming in here. Oh. Trips like, oh. Why? Anyway, now we have this thing again. The Egg Wrecking Ball. Heh. Nice try, sucker. I'm pretty sure I do. Oh! I don't know why I would duck. This is gonna go right through me. I don't think I even mean... Yeah. I decided that there isn't enough... Everybody... All the characters have an easy time dealing with this boss. Except for Sonic and maybe Knuckles. Sonic and Oh yeah, and I guess Sonic and Knuckles would both struggle because they don't have a means to get more air. I suppose if you can get Knuckles to climb the wall. It was funny when those missiles came, I was like, wait, what? What? Okay. Ow. Alright. This is probably a boss that was made for Trip. Eh. I like how this one egg robo does not have a... is the only one that doesn't have a weapon. Well, I feel like in some dumb way it'd be kind of funnier to see Fang as all these bosses. If they ever utilize Fang again, I'd like them to give him a proper boss fight. Like one where he's gonna try to use his cork gun to shoot you. Look, evil clouds. Mario Wonder has had those. And I mentioned that earlier on in this Let's Play. I don't trust those enemies. Because on my luck, I jump at them, and then the big psych spikes out. Whee! Whee! Alright, let's see here. Yeah. This might be the only area that, like, using Trip's special skill with the White Emerald, where the only time it'd be good. She throws fireballs. Which emerald power did you guys get the most out of? Let me know down in the comments. What are you doing past me? Whee! I wish they gave Trip a different running animation. She's pretty much just like Sonic and Amy. So, thanks to watching another Let's Play, I discovered how those elevators work. Depending on how many people are playing the game with you, will affect how many can go, how far down that elevator will go. I saw that. Trip was outside of the portal at the bottom. This game desperately needs to get patched. Like I said, it's a decent game, but it's far from good. Actually, no, I think I'm being a hypocrite there. Sorry. It's a good game. But it probably could have been better. Like, I personally don't get... And I blame... My problems with this game mostly revolve around the bosses. Like, I don't like any of the bosses. I don't mind the first two, not counting that nonsense with Fang. But I definitely don't like the rest that much. Sweet. Trip, why didn't I just fly to the right? Whatever. That's funny. I'm gonna have to double check this with Amy, Tails, and Knuckles later, but they got more creative with Trip's super form, and Sonic is Supersonic is supersonic. But I think that from what I've seen, from what I've gathered from my own Let's Play, they were kind of lazy with Tails and Knuckles and possibly Amy. And what I mean by that is because, like, in the classic games, Knuckles would flash between pink and red. Tails would flash between yellow and orange. Amy is pink and white. Note to self, we'll build this game back up later and check some of that. And that sucked. But at least we got a ring. This is probably one of the bosses that I like the least. That sucked. I think right there and I just was like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna off myself. Yeah, I find it a little dumb. Like, I might understand for Trip, but when you come into boss fights, they deactivate your super form. Like, just leave the super form in the cutscene and don't bother draining your rings during the cutscene. Whoa, that was close. Whoa. I have no idea why they did this. I'd like to know why they made the bosses have invincibility frames. He was no longer flashing white and I couldn't even hurt him. It's like Sonic Rush. Only bad. Oh, that sucked. Ah, that sucked too. I want to hang on to that while he's spamming his frickin' saws. Whee! He's got 3 more hits on him. Remember, all the bosses have to take 9 now because... reasons. Doink. Oh. Really? I knew when I was editing this I should have added in a Homer scream. Well, for that part there, with the saws. Whee! Ugh. Big explosion, yet he somehow survived. Alright. And with those 3 zones out of the way, I will see you on the next part. Until then, you all take care.